All right, so are you ready to jump into something pretty interesting today?
Always.
Today we're going to be looking at Rumble,
Okay.
the video platform that's often talked about as, that YouTube alternative.
Yeah.
And they just made a pretty surprising move into the world of Bitcoin.
Right.
So first things first,
Yeah.
Rumble's board of directors has just approved this plan to use some of their extra cash to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, the scale of it is what I thought was really fascinating.
Yeah.
We're talking up to $20 million,
Wow.
which is, if you translate that, that's like 212 Bitcoins
Wow.
at the time they made the announcement.
So they're serious about this.
Yeah, it signals like a real commitment.
Okay, so help me understand this, like, treasury strategy thing.
Yeah.
Why would a company decide to hold Bitcoin like this?
Well, so imagine you have like all of a company's assets.
Okay.
Right. And it's like ingredients in a recipe
Yeah, okay.
for like financial stability.
Gotcha.
You got your cash, you got your stocks, you got your bonds. Those are like your staple ingredients.
Okay.
But what we're seeing is lately, companies, especially in tech, are kind of adding Bitcoin to the mix.
Oh.
It's a way to diversify, but it's also kind of about hedging against inflation.
So they're, like, worried about the value of their cash just shrinking over time.
Yeah, exactly.
And they see Bitcoin as a potential safeguard.
Exactly. Plus, there's the allure of Bitcoin's potential for growth.
Right.
It's been, it's had its ups and downs over the years.
It's a roller coaster.
But the overall trend has been upward. And so if Bitcoin keeps climbing, that 20 million could turn into something much, much bigger.
That makes sense. But there's got to be, like, some risk involved too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Bitcoin's price is famous for being, like, all over the place.
Oh, for sure. So that's the big caveat with Bitcoin,
Okay.
right, is that it's decentralized. So that means no government
Right.
or financial institution controls it.
Right.
And that gives it some advantages, right?
Yeah.
But it also makes it highly volatile.
Okay.
A lot of factors can influence its price from, like global events,
Yeah.
online trends, tweets from influential figures.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
So Rumble is taking a calculated risk here.
Yeah.
They're hoping to ride the Bitcoin wave,
Yeah,
but they're aware they could get wiped out
exactly.
if things go south.
Yeah, and to add another layer to that,
Okay.
Bitcoin's price actually dipped right after Rumble made this announcement.
Oh.
So it tried to break through that $100,000 mark.
Okay.
Then it fell back down
Oh, wow.
to about like $92,000.
Talk about bad timing. Does that make this, like, a bad move?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it.
Okay.
Some might see it as a missed opportunity.
Right.
They could have gotten more Bitcoin for their money if they bought in earlier.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
isn't there that saying about buy low, sell high?
Right. Buy low, sell high.
That's the classic investment strategy. And in a way, Rumble's kind of doing that.
Okay.
They're betting that Bitcoin will rebound and eventually go past that $100,000 mark, making their investment more valuable.
So it's a gamble.
It is.
But it's a calculated one, and they're banking on Bitcoin's long-term potential.
Yeah.
Now, this Benzinga article also mentions other companies that hold Bitcoin, like MicroStrategy Inc. and MARA Holdings.
Right.
And they saw their stock prices drop after Bitcoin took a dip.
Yeah.
So that seems like a pretty clear connection.
Yeah, it highlights a really crucial point about how a company's stock price is affected by its assets.
Okay.
So think of it this way. The stock price, right,
Yeah.
is a reflection of the perceived value of the entire company,
Okay.
including everything that it owns.
Right.
So if Bitcoin is part of that portfolio and the value of Bitcoin drops,
Yeah.
it's going to drag down the company's overall value,
Oh, well,
at least in the eyes of investors.
So even though Rumble might be playing a long game with Bitcoin, their stock price is still subject to the whims of the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah, in the short term.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's like a delicate balancing act.
Right.
And it's one of the many reasons why this whole story is so intriguing.
Yeah, it definitely adds, like, a layer of suspense. It's
Yeah.
like, are they going to make it?
Yeah.
Like watching this high-stakes poker game.
Yeah, very apt analogy, and we're just getting started.
Okay.
There's another element to Rumble's strategy that we need to explore.
Okay, so we've established that Rumble's taking this big swing with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But they're not stopping there.
No, they are not.
This Benzinga article also points out this partnership that they made with Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
The, the streamer.
Popular streamer.
Yeah, popular streamer.
Yeah.
He's going to be making content exclusively for Rumble Premium.
Right.
And even advising their gaming division.
Mm-hmm.
Rumble Gaming.
It's a strategic play, that's for sure.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
On the surface, it kind of seems like a no-brainer.
Oh,
I mean, Dr. Disrespect has a massive following in the gaming world.
Yeah.
Millions of fans who are highly engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So, just bringing him on board could significantly boost Rumble's visibility in that market.
So they're tapping into a new audience, potentially bringing in all those gamers, who maybe haven't even heard of Rumble before.
Right, exactly.
But is it more than just like a popularity play?
Well, yeah, to me, what this really signals is Rumble's intention to kind of expand beyond just being a YouTube alternative.
Right.
They're really aiming to carve out a space in the gaming world.
Okay.
And and partnering with someone like Dr. Disrespect,
right?
It lends them credibility, and instant recognition.
Yeah, like you're saying, we're serious about gaming and we're bringing in the big guns
to do it.
To do it.
But it also, it also raises some interesting questions.
Okay.
I mean, can Rumble effectively juggle multiple identities?
Right.
I mean, they're dabbling in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
They're vying for this video sharing dominance.
Right.
And now they're pushing into gaming.
Yeah. Is there a risk that they're spreading themselves too thin?
There's always that risk.
Yeah.
It's a classic challenge, for businesses. Like knowing when to focus and when to diversify.
Right.
Rumble's strategy seems to be leaning towards diversification.
Okay.
Which can be a good thing, but it requires careful execution.
Yeah.
You really need to make sure you're not losing sight of your core strengths.
Yeah, like spinning plates.
Right.
You can only keep so many going at once.
Exactly.
Before things start to wobble.
Yep.
So how does this gaming push tie back into like their Bitcoin strategy?
It's subtle.
Okay.
But it's there.
Okay.
So the gaming community, right? They have a growing interest in cryptocurrency.
Okay.
And blockchain technology. And we're seeing more and more games that are actually incorporating these elements, right? Whether it's, in-game currencies, NFTs, or even like play-to-earn models.
So Rumble could be setting themselves up to be at the forefront of this?
Potentially. Yeah.
They're securing this foothold in the gaming world. Right.
While simultaneously building their presence in the cryptocurrency space.
That's a very astute observation.
Thanks.
Yeah. By bringing Dr. Disrespect on board, they're not just attracting his gaming audience.
Right.
They're potentially attracting an audience that's already kind of primed for the world of crypto.
It's a really savvy move.
Yeah.
Especially considering that, a lot of gamers, they're young, they're tech savvy, they're demographics that are often more open to adopting new technologies like crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. It all kind of points to this broader trend that we're seeing of the convergence of different sectors.
Right.
So you got media, gaming, and finance.
Yeah.
They're no longer operating in silos. They're increasingly interconnected.
Yeah.
And Rumble seems to be, recognizing this.
It's like they're trying to build this bridge between these worlds.
Creating this platform that caters to audiences who are interested in all of these things.
Yeah.
It's an ambitious goal.
Yeah, definitely.
But if they pull it off, it could be a real game changer.
It certainly has the potential to disrupt the status quo.
Right.
And that's what makes this story so fascinating to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
We're seeing a company that's willing to challenge conventions, push boundaries, whether they succeed or not, remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But they're definitely shaking things up.
So what's the takeaway for you?
I think the key takeaway here is that Rumble isn't just reacting to trends.
Right.
They're actively trying to shape them.
Okay.
Their move into Bitcoin, their partnership with Dr. Disrespect.
Right.
It all suggests this really forward-thinking approach. They're not afraid to take risks. They're not afraid to experiment.
They're not playing it safe.
No.
But is it a brilliant strategy
Right.
or a reckless gamble?
We'll have to see.
I guess time will tell.
Yeah. Time will tell.
So let's bring it all back.
Okay.
We've been looking at Rumble's, these bold moves, this Bitcoin buy-in, this venture into the gaming world with Dr. Disrespect. What are your thoughts on all of this?
I think it's such a fascinating case study.
Yeah.
Rumble is clearly trying to position themselves as a disruptive force in the market.
Right.
Not just another player
in
this crowded digital media world.
Right.
Their strategy's unconventional. But I think that's what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, they're not playing by the usual rules. They're embracing risk, They're diving headfirst into these emerging technologies,
right,
forging their own path.
Yeah, and that's what sets them apart.
Yeah.
I mean, in a world where so many companies are trying to, copy each other, Rumble is daring to be different.
Right.
They're betting on the future. And whether or not that bet pays off, well, that's a question that only time can answer.
Yeah, it's like watching a high wire act.
Yeah.
You're on the edge of your seat, wondering if they're going to make it to the other side.
Very apt analogy.
Yeah.
And the stakes are high. I mean, if Rumble succeeds, they could redefine how we consume content, how we interact with games, and even how we manage our finances.
Wow.
They could become like a model, right?
Yeah.
For other companies that are looking to innovate and disrupt their industries.
Right.
But if they fail, it could be a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
About the dangers of overreaching, of trying to do too much too quickly.
Right. So there's definitely risk involved.
Oh, absolutely. That's the inherent risk in any bold strategy. But without risk, there's no reward.
Right.
And Rumble seems willing to embrace that. They're not afraid to challenge the status quo. And that's something to admire.
Yeah.
Regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that innovation often comes from, those who are willing to think differently, push the boundaries and take chances.
Exactly. Rumble's story, I think, is a real testament to the power of, ambition and vision.
Yeah.
And the willingness to embrace the unknown.
Right.
It's a story that's still being written, and we'll all be watching to see how it unfolds.
And that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, it is.
We'll be keeping a close eye on Rumble as they navigate this uncharted territory.
Right.
But for now, we'll leave you with this.
Okay.
What do you think about Rumble's bold moves?